Namaste. Welcome to your practice. Today we're exploring Chandra Namaskar, moon salutations. Just like sun salutations, moon salutations come in lots of different flavors. You could do them many different ways. What moon salutations have in common, though, is that unlike our sun salutations, which are all about power and movement and force, moon salutations are about grace and fluidity and ease. The movements are much more side to side. There's some twisting. It's less about getting it done and more about being in the moment. So we'll start with our legs a little bit wide. And because it is a brief practice, just 30 minutes today, we're going to do our meditation with our movement. If you'd like, you can keep your eyes open, or you're welcome to close them. Let's start to lean side to side here. See if you can experience your body moving side to side, noticing what it feels like in your body, and then start to sweep that into a circle. As you're circling around, maybe you can notice, where do I feel sensation in my body? Is there some stretch? Do I notice how the weight is moving from one side to another? Are you conscious of your energy level? Do you feel pretty good today? Are you feeling a little tired? Whatever you find is a workable situation, we just want to be aware of it. Next time that you find yourself back through center, let's go the other direction. And see if you can ask yourself, how am I inside? What's my mood like? What have my thoughts been like lately? What's my overall stress level? And this is just a means to see if we can judge what is it that we need today. So as you're starting to come together with your intention now, remember there was a reason that you chose to practice today. What was that? And then if it resonates with you, you might pause the movement, bring your hands to heart center, layer the hands one over another, one on the heart, one on the belly, whatever helps you to connect. And take a moment to feel your intention either coming up or settling in. And we'll take 2 breaths here just to bake this into our practice. Let's have one more full breath in and out. And then when you're ready, the eyes will blink open and we'll transition to hands and knees. Now, I've got 2 blocks here, one on either side of the mat, because this practice goes from side to side. So the front and the back of the mat will both be in use, and I know that I'll want to block at either end. But to begin, for this first part, we'll be in hands and knees facing the front. Now, if you find that you need 2 blocks at either end, you can just move one when you need to, right? Let's find cat and cow here first. Tilt the pelvis, drop the belly, start to roll through the spine, and then tuck and round under. As you're moving, see if you can still tune into the feeling of what's it like to be in my body today. Is there any range of motion that feels like it's not a good one for me? Is there something that I'm sort of having to be a little sensitive to? Just notice. We'll take one more round like this. And then if it works in your body today, walk the hands forward and drop back into child's pose. Now for today, your child's pose could be that your hips don't come all the way back to your heels. That's totally fine. So you could be up a little higher. That's okay. You could also have your hands resting under your head for a little cushion. If it's possible to have your hands reaching really far forward, let's try that. Because the next thing that we'll do will be to transition from our cat and cow movement that we did into a cat-cow-cobra vinyasa. That looks like this. Hands are reaching forward. I keep the palms down as I round forward into a rounded tabletop. Keep going forward until your shoulders are over your wrists, and then lower thighs, belly, and chest slowly down through cobra to the floor. When you get all the way down to the floor, we'll lift up one more time into cobra. And then from cobra, tuck the chin and round the upper back, middle back, and lower back to come all the way back into your child's pose. So we'll do that a few more times. Now keep in mind that you may need to change where your hands are. There might need to be some readjusting. That's fine. We have different proportions from one another. When you're ready, round forward. Here's where you might need to adjust the hands, especially if it feels uncomfortable on the wrists. Lowering down through cobra, feel the back bend move through your spine. Lift up one more time into cobra. And tuck back into your child's pose. So this is one of my favorites because it plays with elements of strength and mobility and grace. One last time through. But when you first start it, there's definitely going to be some time where you're like, just trying to get the mechanics down. That's okay. It'll get more graceful with time as you're able to make it yours. The next time that you find yourself back in your child's pose position, you can hang out there for a few breaths if you like it. Or you could come back through to tabletop and take a few rounds of hip circles, one direction and then another. Or maybe it feels good to move into downward facing dog now. Remember that it's your practice. You're using your body in whatever way feels best for you today. We'll stay here wherever you are for another breath or two. And then take your time, move your feet forward to come into a standing forward fold. Put a healthy bend into your knees here. Let yourself drape forward over the legs. See if it feels good to sway a little bit side to side. And then sway your way up to a standing position. Pause for a moment here. Feel the breath in and out. Circle your arms big and wide if you have the room here. And when you get to the top, circle the arms wide out again. Bring the thumbs to the lower back. Let the fingers wrap around to the front hip bones. A little bend in the knees. Lift up through the chest, maybe a tiny back bend or more if it feels good. And then bow forward. Let the knees soften as you come down. From here, lift your chest to look forward. And then we're stepping the left foot back into a lunge. Go ahead, lower the left knee down through the floor. Let the hips come forward here if it feels good. I don't often teach it this way, but sometimes this is really nice. And then arms could reach overhead if you like, or maybe you prefer to keep your fingertips down to blocks or the floor. One breath here, and then we'll lower hands down to the floor or blocks. Now I'm going to put my left hand on the block, push into the block with my left hand, turn to my right, reach my right arm up to the sky. I'm taking my right toes and turning them out 45 degrees just to give my body a little space and to prepare for something we may do later. Then, right hand down, and we'll step right knee back to the left. Bow back through child's pose, and we'll take one round of that cat-cow vinyasa, or you can just move through cat and cow. Then from our tabletop position, step your left foot forward to the front of the mat. Bend through the knee as you lift through the chest, the hips dip down. And the right hand comes down to the block or the floor. Left arm to the sky. Now take a look. I'm turning my left toes out to the left just a little bit and letting my hips drape forward. My right side body starts to drop a little bit more toward the floor. So my chest isn't facing down, it's facing to the side. Left fingertips down to the floor, and we'll step forward here and bow. One complete breath in and out here. And then we rise all the way up to stand. And when you get to the top, circle the hands wide, thumbs to the lower back, that little extension through the spine here. And we'll bow forward again. So not in any hurry at all. Look forward here. And then it's right foot back, right knee to the floor. Let the hips drape forward as the chest lifts up. Maybe the arms come up too. And then right hand down to a block or the floor. Turn your left toes out 45 degrees, just like we did earlier. Now we have the option to start to roll a little bit to the outer right hip. So my right knee right now is face down toward the floor, but as I start to roll, I'm coming to the outside of the knee, and you can see my right toes now are facing to the left toward the camera a little bit. Take a breath in here. If you'd like to reach back with the left arm, you can. If this doesn't work for your body, you're just staying with that same twist that we did earlier. Left hand back down to the floor. And then we'll step left foot back, coming into our cat-cow vinyasa, either simply through cat and cow or the arms reach forward and we round forward, lowering down into cobra. Back up. And gliding into our child's pose position. When you feel ready from here, it's right foot forward. Turn the right toes to the right. Option to roll a little bit onto the right outer hip as the right arm reaches back, stretching a little more into the left side body now. And then right hand forward. Step your left foot forward to meet the right, soft in the knees, torso draping forward. Reach the arms wide as you come up, circle wide toward the sky. Turn the palms out, bring them into the little nest in the lower back as you lift through the chest. And then this time we'll pause, let the arms hang by the sides. One complete breath in and out. Now we'll start to move in more of a mandala fashion. We're going to make a circle around the mat. Circle the arms wide again. And then circle them wide as we drape forward here. Lift the chest to look forward. And left foot back, left knee down. Lift up for the lunge. And then into the twist, left hand down, right toes turn to the right. Now, if you want to make it more complicated, tuck your back toes and lift your back knee, and then roll to the outer edge of both feet as you reach back with your right arm. So it's your choice where you take this. This could also be just the same twist that we started with. Right hand comes down. Now watch, we'll walk around and over to the left leg, bending into the left knee. You might be up a little bit higher today, that's fine. Or you may be down a little bit lower. Just moving back and forth. Finding a little rhythm that works for you. The next time that you bend into your left knee, we're facing the back of the mat. Pivot, lower the right knee to the floor. Lift up through the chest. Lower your right arm down to a block or the floor. So we've got a block back here if I want it. And we're in the twist. Now remember, your twist could be right here, the same twist we started with. You could lift the back knee, roll to the outer edge of the feet. And then left hand comes down. Step it back into either child's pose or downward facing dog. Take a complete breath here. Now in this sequence, there's more up and down and more movement than we sometimes do in our slow flow practices. So take it at your own pace and make any adjustments you need to for yourself. If you'd like to add on that vinyasa, you could move through cat and cow here, or you could do that cat-cow vinyasa that we learned together. When you are ready from either downward facing dog or hands and knees, left foot steps forward. Rise up through your lunge, same lunge we've been doing. Here's the twist, right hand down. Turn the left toes to the left. Find a twist that works for you. Then left arm comes up and over. We walk around and sway right, sway left, sway right, sway left. The next time you sway to the right, turn, face the front of the mat once more, and then step your left foot forward to meet the right and bow. One complete breath here. Big circle of the arms to come all the way up to stand. Bring the hands to your heart center. One complete breath in and out here before we do the second side. When you're ready, arms overhead. Now it's a circle wide, hands come down to the lower back, that lift of the chest. And drape yourself forward. Lift through the spine here and then step your right foot back. This time, if you like, you could come into a high lunge. That's going to be your choice. Knee down or knee up. Then your twist, right hand down to block or the floor. It could be as simple as hand to the floor, or you could do that long arcing reach back that stretches through the side body. Here we go, up and over, walk it to the right. Remembering that you could be higher or lower, and that the essence is that we're just bending, alternating knees. The next time that you find yourself with the right knee bent, turn, pivot. You may need to rearrange your feet. Your knee could come down or not. Lift up through the chest, and then find your twist here. Left hand down, right arm up. Option to turn the feet. And then hand down, step yourself back, either downward facing dog, child's pose, or tabletop. I'm going to lower my knees here and just move my hips in a big circle. So it doesn't matter what you're doing in between the parts of the pose. What happens is what you're experiencing. Let's circle the other direction. Now in just a moment, we'll be stepping the right foot forward and completing that circle back to the front. And when you arrive at a likely spot, step your right foot forward. Let's come up into that high lunge again, or you could keep it low. Now left hand down to block or the floor. We're back into our twist. And then all the way around, swaying left, swaying right. If you're comfortable going really low, that feels good for your body, you're welcome to do that. The next time that your left knee bends, find your lunge. And then fingertips down, and we'll just step forward here. Bow forward, let yourself hang. And come all the way up to stand, reach the arms. And circle the arms out to the sides to bring them back to center. Pause here, recover for a moment. Breath in and breath out. Breath in and breath out. We'll play a little bit more. Circle wide when you're ready. And then circle wide to find that little back bend again. Then drape yourself forward. Now we're just going to build a little bit on what we've already learned. Look forward first. Then the left foot steps back into the lunge. Remember, it could be knee down or knee up. Into the twist. And then over to your left. This time we're bending into the left knee and coming up into warrior two. Straighten your front leg, move forward into triangle pose. Take 2 or 3 breaths in triangle. You're welcome to use a block or to situate yourself in any way that feels right for you. If you want to make it more drapey today, you could curl your top arm over the head. This is one of my favorite ways to do the pose, arcing the side of the ribs toward the sky. Stay here if you like, or we have the option now to explore half moon pose. Reach forward with your hand, find a block or the floor, lift your back leg into the air. Your balance doesn't need to be perfect in order for you to be having fun and being effective in your yoga practice. Let's take another breath here. And then, wherever you are, we'll meet back in Warrior Two. And then from Warrior Two, lunge again. And from the lunge, twist again. Right hand down, left arm up. Left hand down, step back to down dog or child's pose. Breathe in and out. And then, if you'd like to explore a few rounds of cat and cow, you can do that. I'm going to move through my cat, cow, cobra. And then left foot will step forward. Lunge, high or low. Twist. Any flavor of twist that you're enjoying. And then walk it over to the right. Warrior Two to the right, so we're facing back toward the front of the mat. Straighten your front leg, reach forward and find triangle pose. Maybe finding that side body lengthening. It'll be your choice to stay here or to move into half moon. Being willing to wobble and play. One more breath. Back into Warrior Two. Back into the lunge. Rearrange your feet. Take the time you need. From the lunge, fingertips down to blocks or the floor, and we step forward. Look forward here. Fold. Come all the way up to stand. And then circle the hands wide and meet them at the heart. Circle wide, lift up. Next round's a little bit different. Circle wide, find that little back bend. Curl forward, draping down. And then right foot back, high lunge. From that high lunge shape, we come into the twist. That's still going to be the same. And then from the twist, walk over to your right. Warrior Two, then high lunge, then we drape forward over the front leg, Parsvatanasana. Now here, if you need 2 blocks, grab another block. We'll just bend and straighten the front leg a few times. Keeping it really simple. Now the next time that the leg is straighter, you could hold right there. Or if you wanted to play a little bit, you could lift your left leg into the air behind you, bowing downward. Doesn't matter how high you go. Doesn't matter if the left hip lifts up. This is just an opportunity for you to be in your body in a different way. One more breath. And then lower left foot back down to the floor if it lifted. Foot back to the left, come to down dog or child's pose. And then everybody, knees to the floor. Lift yourself forward, come all the way down to the floor here. Cobra. And back. Let's make our way back to the front of the mat through that same series. Right foot forward. High lunge. Twist. This is the last twist. And then up and over to your left. Warrior Two. Lunge. Fold forward. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Now, the next time that your leg is straighter, Feel free to stay there or lift your right leg into the air. Bow down. As you gently draw yourself in toward the standing leg, right leg lifting up toward the sky, only going as far as feels right for you today. And then wherever you are, step your right foot forward to meet the left and bow. One final time, up to stand, circle wide. And then circle the arms wide again, bring the hands back to the heart. Pause, reconnect, feel the body, feel the breath. Arms go wide. Bring the hands wide again to the lower back. Final standing back bend here. Back to stand, draping forward. Lift through the chest and step your way back. Let's come to downward facing dog or child's pose or hands and knees. And then lower the knees to the floor. And make your way to lie down on your back. As you come to lie down, make sure that the space is clear, that you have room for your head, that your block isn't in your way if you're using one. Take the arms out to a T if you have the space. If not, just arrange your arms comfortably. Knees bent, feet wide. Gently drop your knees over to your right and over to your left. So this work is not super fast, but it is rather intense, this type of salutation. Next time that your knees drop over to your right, let's pause, leave them there. If you'd like to add a little more stretch to the front of the left hip, you could bring the outer right foot to the top of the left thigh and gently encourage that thigh bone to drop down. The breath move through you here. You could also turn this into a different kind of twist if that's what your body would prefer. If you have your right foot on the left leg, slip it off and come back through to center. Let both knees drop over to the left now. If that's uncomfortable, then choose a different way to be. Just stack the knees instead, or you could put a block or something between the knees. If you want to add a little extra stretch, you could put the left foot on top of the right thigh. Last few breaths here. And let your left foot slide off the right thigh, come back through to center. Pause, breathe, and feel. If there's anything else your body needs before it rests, you can take a different shape. Otherwise, here we're going to close with just 1 minute of Savasana. You can arrange your body in whatever way you like. Your eyes could be open if you'd rather, or you could let them fall closed. See if you can experience the energy of this practice, the movement that we did today. Feel how it is in your body now. In this last moment before we start to wake up, tune in again and see if there's anything inside your experience that you can notice that you'd like to carry away with you. Any inspiration or intuitive wisdom. And then, without feeling like you need to hurry, no urgency, you can begin to move back toward your seat. Maybe the legs pull in toward you here, or maybe it's something else. If you want to take one more moment to reconnect with intention, you can do that. Or just to bring your hands to the heart and bow chin to chest, acknowledge the power of this practice to move us through different states and bring us back home to ourselves again. How wonderful and how grateful we are to have these ancient practices. One breath in and out. And then I'll bow to you. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. It's such a pleasure to be with you, even remotely, even online. I look forward to being with you again soon. Be well.